Today on Monkey Life, Jeremy and the team have got their hands full with the annual flu vaccines.
Me shoulder, me shoulder, me shoulder. Go. Not up your nose.
Concern for woolly monkey Kuna.
I can see her condition deteriorating. We have to intervene now, for better or worse.
And Lingga and Dinda join forces against new arrival Sylvester.
I'm with you, boy. Right behind you.
Monkey World in Dorset is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. Dr. Alison Cronin and her team rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
This is always, for me, the most stressful time. I want to see Kiki fit and healthy.
The park is home to more than 240 monkeys and apes from 16 different species. Today, it's time for the annual flu jabs. Chimpanzees and orangutans are our closest living relatives, sharing around 98% of our DNA, so they're prone to the flu virus just like humans.
Well, our primate care staff are working in close proximity with our apes, so obviously there's a risk of us passing things on to them, and also they live in very big social groups, so if one chimp is to get sick, there's a risk that they could pass it right the way through the house. We're taking every measure that we can to make sure that our apes get through the winter season being healthy.
With so many apes at the park, it's going to take a team effort to give them all their jabs. Animal Director Jeremy Keeling is making an early start at the chimp nursery. He's a familiar face here as he gives them breakfast every morning, so Rodders, Ash and foster mum Sally, along with Brian and Lulu, are always happy to see him. But Lulu senses something's up.
Me shoulder, me shoulder.
Lulu doesn't seem to like the look of the needle, but young Ash is intrigued.
Not up your nose.
Rodders is rather curious too.
No, you've got to give me all of your shoulder. Sally's a good girl. You want yours, do you? You want yours there?
In the end, it takes foster mum Sally to show them how it's done.
Good girl, Sal. Good girl, Sally. You're a soldier, aren't you?
Most of the primates at the park are regularly given clicker training or operant conditioning to prepare for days like this.
Cross our hand.
Staff teach them to present certain parts of their body in return for treats. When they hear the click, they know they've got it right and can look forward to a tasty snack. It's very important because it means the primates can be examined easily if they have a medical problem and even have their temperature taken.
36.3, so that's the correct sort of reading we're looking for an orangutan.
The chimps in the nursery are still causing problems for Jeremy.
Go away, Sally. I could have got that then. Go away. You've had yours.
Primate care staff are at Gordon's house. The orangs there are keen to get their hands on the prizes.
I've got a few treats in exchange for their vaccines. I've got, obviously, bananas, which they love, and I've also got some yogurt-coated peanuts and raisins, which obviously is something they don't normally get, so it's a bit of a special treat as it's much harder to give a vaccination than it is just to ask for normal behaviours during a training session. Good boy.
Young Kai willingly accepts the injection, as does stepdad Gordon.
Good boy.
2 down, a few more to go.
I think they see the flu jabs as an extension of the other operant conditioning that we do. So we've incorporated it into their weekly routines so that it's not something really scary and unusual. So just as they would present their stomach or their chest, it's just an extension of that. And I think it's about trust, really, that they know that there's going to be a small prick and that it might be slightly uncomfortable, but then a really nice reward comes their way. So I think that's the important thing. It's about the animals being able to predict what's happening to them.
Orangs are far more sedate creatures than chimps and don't seem to be bothered by the needles. At the orang nursery, they're ready and waiting.
Good girl, Dinda.
Not a flinch from Dinda.
Some raisins.
And Jolie is keen to have hers too.
Wait. Good girl.
Now it's Oisin's turn.
He's not getting in your mouth, girl. Shoulder.
Although she hasn't been at the park very long, she's responded well to clicker training.
Isn't it?
But she doesn't like the look of this. Oisin will normally do anything for treats, and she's definitely tempted. With all the others already tucking into their rewards, Oisin finally gives in.
Good girl. Good girl.
She was a little bit reluctant at the beginning, but she got there in the end. Well done, everyone.
It's only the apes who are being vaccinated. The other species at the park, such as the squirrel monkeys, marmosets, and lemurs, have been let off the hook today because although they do catch colds, they don't seem to suffer with them in the same way the apes do. Over at the Stumpy house, the ugly monkeys are in for a bit of a treat. As with all the primates at the park, staff are constantly looking for ways to stimulate them and encourage natural behaviour.
After we've cleaned in here, we've decided that we're going to do some deep littering with the hay that we've got. Basically, they would naturally spend most of their day foraging around for things. We decided we're going to bury some nice tasty treats for them, things that they really enjoy eating. So we're going to put a few different insects in there, like mealworms and locusts. Also things like sunflower seeds, things that are fairly small so that they really do have to forage through it to actually find what they're looking for.
Sylvie, Noreen and Miriam are the first to test out their foraging skills. And Miriam quickly comes across a mealworm or two. Group leader Sam is also quick off the mark, as is leading lady Kelly, who's salivating at the thought. As high rankers in the group, they always get priority. Low rankers such as Jonathan have to wait on the sidelines. In the wild, stump-tailed macaques spend a lot of their day foraging in the undergrowth, so spotting these locusts, even though they are well camouflaged, should come naturally. But maybe not to Miriam. This one is right under her nose. She just can't see it. Low-ranking Charlie, on the other hand, has managed to grab one that's escaped to the back bedroom, but isn't overly impressed. Although part of their natural diet, these stumpies are not given juicy locusts too often because of their weight issues. The girls were all rehomed from a laboratory in Scotland, where they'd been used for medical research. When they arrived at the park, they were all overweight because they hadn't had enough exercise. Miriam is still oblivious to the tasty snack right next to her. Ah, finally. Once she's had her fill, she retires to the back bedroom, allowing the others to take her place. Cola sees her opportunity and nips in to nab the leftovers. Closely followed by Maureen and Charlie. Phil, on the other hand, who's the lowest ranking of all, is happy just to be on his own for a while. The woolly monkeys have also been let off flu jabs today. But one of them is giving cause for concern.
Kuna is coming up to the hospital today because she's just not looking right. I mean, each time I go by the house, I just see her getting more and more frail. She looks she's lost a lot of weight and she just doesn't look fit and healthy.
Kuna's weight loss is a mystery, but Alison thinks she may know the cause.
Kuna does have a checkered history in terms of her medical care. She is one of them that likes to eat little stones that she finds out in the enclosure. And actually, in Kuna's file at the office, when you open it up, I've got a little bag stapled in of the stones we've removed from her belly before. We're gonna x-ray her first of all, see if she's got another belly full of stones, which we would then remove, so it's quite a serious operation. But there's no point in leaving Kuna because I can see her condition deteriorating. We have to intervene now, for better or worse.
As soon as Kuna arrives at the hospital, the team have to work quickly. Wildlife vet John Lewis doesn't want her under anaesthetic any longer than she has to be. This is always an anxious time for the primate care staff. Kuna is intubated so John can monitor her breathing throughout. The park's vet, Mike Nathan, feels Kuna's belly for any obvious signs of stones.
Chest looks absolutely fine.
Operating on Kuna is a serious step, so an X-ray will help determine if this is absolutely necessary.
All right, let's see what that's like.
The X-ray only reveals one small stone.
Do you think that would be causing her enough problem?
Is it sharp-edged?
Should we do an AP and just see roughly where it is?
Despite the pressure of time, both John and Mike want another X-ray.
OK.
Well, it is sharpish, but...
Well, that's not causing all these chronic
that's
problems.
not causing the weight loss, I don't think.
Kuna's condition remains a mystery.
Now it's just a case of trying to work out what we really want to do with her. So I think for today, we're going to take a blood sample to see what her biochemistry is like, and then put her on a birth control implant for now. And not because we wouldn't like her to be fit and healthy to breed, but she is in no condition to have a baby at this point, and I think really that would take her out.
A major operation is underway at the park to give all the apes their annual flu vaccinations. And with almost 100 chimps, orangs and gibbons resident here, it's no mean feat. The orangs have been pretty compliant, but the chimps are proving more of a challenge. The 15 bachelor boys are ready and waiting, although leader Butch doesn't want to commit himself until he's seen what the others are in for. Brave Sammy takes it like a man. High-ranking Jester, on the other hand, who's one of Butch's henchmen, proves to be a bit of a wimp.
That's why it's so interesting and why everybody loves working with them so much, is because they're such individuals, and that comes through on the flu jabs as well. And just like us, there are some individuals that seem to have a high pain threshold. There's other individuals that are quite sensitive. Some prefer to do it on their own in a bedroom. It's really about knowing the animals, and a testament to all the staff here, the primate care staff that work with our apes, that build up a relationship with them and learn where their boundaries are and where their limits are. Good girl, Peggy, perfect. Good girl.
At the park's hospital, the team are trying to work out why woolly monkey Kuna has been losing weight. They had thought she'd been eating stones, but X-rays have only shown up a relatively small one in her stomach. But while the team have been working on her, Kuna has stopped breathing, and wildlife vet John Lewis has had to put her on a ventilator.
Why don't you breathe?
Animals have different reactions to anesthetics, and for this one, for whatever reason, Kuna isn't breathing on her own. Her oxygen levels in her bloods are not bad, and John's monitoring that, but no, we're breathing for her right now. So it's a stressful situation for me. It's great having John here because he's totally used to doing this balancing act, and it's his specialty. So she's in good hands, but it's just one of those things.
With Kuna's weight loss still a mystery, they're taking bloods to carry out further tests. John is reluctant to leave Kuna's side, so ramps up the pressure on the rest of the team.
If people can pass me things, I'll deal with it. Alison, could you give me a 5mm syringe and a short blue needle? It's the 5/8 of an inch. The ventilator, the worse she gets.
It does feel like we're leaking when we're doing it. That's what I was saying.
Except the inspired, expect the inspired CO2 is 0. That's not leaking.
All right.
That seriously isn't leaking.
John needs to wake Kuna up and get her back on her feet as soon as he can.
All right.
Want to finish?
Yeah. Just like it to be.
Have you got the box ready? I'll wake her up.
Weigh her if you're happy.
Yeah, no, I'd like to weigh her and get a proper weight.
as well, 2 milligrams.
John gives Kuna a drug to reverse the effects of the anaesthetic.
OK, disconnecting out. Where's the back?
He's hoping Kuna will start breathing on her own now.
Yeah, that seems to work. She's not far off breathing herself anyway. I think I would weigh her if I were you.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Kuna still hasn't taken a breath.
Put her nice and straight. She's waking up.
Oh, boxes, please.
You let go of the tail quickly.
Relief all round.
I thought we could put a thermometer in. Hello,
Does she
you're
need to
awake
take
now.
that out?
Yes, I think that's probably not a good idea, having.
Yeah.
Got a tail.
We can weigh the box.
Yeah.
We can weigh the box with the blankets when we come back.
I've no idea if this is going to work, but I'm actually...
Got it?
Freaking in a minute.
There you go.
Tail and foot. Mind the feet.
Yeah, no, she's got hold of my hand at the moment.
Okay.
He's a good puppy. It's all right.
Well, from no breathing to lots of breathing. That's just classic.
The primate care staff will have to keep a close eye on Kuna over the next few months.
She is a bit of a puzzle. There's nothing obvious about her teeth, there's nothing obvious about the rest of her, which tells us, that's why she's thin. If she loses any more weight, then that would be extremely worrying. The next change should be weight gain. I would hope by shutting her reproductive cycles down, that might actually steady her down and help her gain weight. Time will tell, I think.
It's baby Sylvester's first full day in the nursery. The little orang has been rehomed from a zoo in Spain because his mother refused to feed him. Monkey World is the European creche for orphaned orangs, so was asked to look after him. It's time for Sylvester to start meeting the other orangs, but as with all new arrivals at the park, he has to be introduced to the group gradually. Jeremy thinks O'Sheen and Jolie might be a bit much for Sylvester to start with.
I reckon that Dinda and Lingga will be the best first new companions.
Lingga and Dinda are best buddies. Like Sylvester, they too had to be separated from their mums because they wouldn't feed them. Dinda was born at the park and Lingga came from a zoo in France. Staff have decided the introduction should happen in the safety of the bedrooms, as it's a more controllable area than the playroom. And Jeremy is going in to act as referee. O'Sheen looks on without much interest. Lingga and Dinda wait in trepidation. Sylvester is already proving popular with the primate care staff.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Very cute. And he's quite confident as well. He ain't backwards and coming forwards, put it that way.
But it's the mischievous duo Lingga and Dinda he's going to have to win over.
Well, they seem very interested, and they have been since he arrived last night. If I was them, I'd come straight over and give him a cuddle, so we're hopeful.
Dinda, Lingga.
Come on.
Lingga approaches first.
Hello. I thought Dinda would be first out of the way.
Watch him, Jeremy.
She decides he's better kept at arm's length.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm right behind you, honest.
It's Sylvester who offers the hand of friendship. Despite being outnumbered, he bravely follows the girls into their bedroom, egged on by Jeremy.
I'm with you, boy. Right behind you.
But they're sticking together. On home turf, Lingga and Dinda are not very welcoming.
Push him off. Oi, oi, stop it.
Sylvester is oblivious to the hostility, but Lingga has another shot at him.
Stop it. No.
Realising she won't get anywhere with Jeremy stuck to Sylvester's side, Lingga gives up and decides to attack the baby orang's bedroom instead. But Sylvester is now curious and follows her with his bodyguard in tow. Jeremy's very pleased with the way Sylvester is coping.
He's behaving much better than those two, actually, particularly Lingga. The time he spent with his sisters is standing him in good stead because it's, you know, he knows what an orang is. He's now got to learn new characters.
So, despite Lingga and Dinda's best efforts to unnerve him, Sylvester has stood his ground. But his next encounter may be more of a challenge. It's O'Sheen.
Come on then, guys.
Over at Paddy's enclosure, the chimps are on their way inside. They're the last group of the day to be given flu jabs and are keen to get their treats. Paddy's son Bart can't wait for his big moment and watches patiently as first Clin, then Kathy show him how it's done.
Good girl.
At the grand old age of 4, Bart is finally old enough to be given the full dose. Always eager to please, he bravely offers up his arm. But he's not quite brave enough. Kate wants Bart to turn to the side so he can't see the needle, but he's getting very confused and just offers everything. As the rest of the group enjoy their treats, Bart finally manages to have half of his dose. Staff will keep trying with the other half.